Hello and welcome to Black Cats Chat, the international fans podcast for Sunderland FC. My name is Lee Thirkell. I'm from the Bilbao Black Cats. And because we've got International Fans Day 2025 a few months away, we thought we'd have an early, friends reunite with Martin Bates in Canada. He's from the SAFC NASA branch. Martin, good afternoon to you, mate.
Good afternoon, guys. Great to see you guys again.
Okay, and we've also got Radoslav Karaasenov. He's from the Bulgarian branch, and both lads will be at International Fans Day in April. Radoslav, how are you, mate?
Oh, good. Yeah, thanks for the invitation to join the podcast again.
Always a pleasure to have you both on, guys. Right then, so yesterday we've suffered our second defeat in a row, and I think it was the first time this season we've had back-to-back defeats. We lost at home against Hull City 1-0. It also ended our unbeaten home run. Disappointing, Martin, because 44,000 were there. It was a good attendance. We expected some kind of reaction, no, after the result on Monday, conceding late against Leeds, but it just didn't happen again, did it not?
No, it got worse. It just seemed that they were flat the whole game. I didn't find them that inspiring. And, I expected them to walk in and win, 3-0, 3-1 maybe. But it just didn't happen. It was just very disappointing. Of course, at some point, we kind of think that the home winning streak's going to come to an end, but you don't think it's going to be against Hull, with all respect to Hull.
Yeah. And Radoslav, I mean, there were some kind of complaints before the match because we saw the team sheet and we saw the same 11 again, and people are just asking for changes, no? They want to try something different, see other players, because some of the players, for example, Chris Rigg, they're suffering from tiredness, although it seems that Lebris and the staff don't believe so. So were you a bit surprised that we had the same 11 yesterday?
Yeah, I was very surprised to see the same starting 11 yesterday. The players looked very tired at the end of the game against Leeds. And that was the case yesterday as well. Also, I had the feeling that this late goal that we conceded against Leeds was still in the mind of the players, and I would have expected that at least one or two changes would have been happened yesterday. At least, as you said, Chris Rigg for Mayenda, more energy. We saw so many times that Mayenda and Isidore are playing very well together. And I expected that at least that change yesterday. Also, probably Enzo Luffe and Dan Bauer, they haven't played too many games over the past months, let's say. And I expected that they would need some rest. I thought that they need some rest, but unfortunately they were forced for that rest yesterday.
Yeah, it seems so, Martin, because look, Enzo Lefebvre went off at half time, and Dan Ballard looks like he's pulled his hamstring. Both injuries are similar, according to Lebris in his press conference. That would be a big blow, wouldn't it, to lose those for the majority of the remainder of the season, no, Martin?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I've not heard the timeline on the length of any of those two injuries. So you may have to catch me up to speed on that. But if it's what you're saying, they could miss a significant amount of time. That's obviously a very very hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, if it's hamstring, you're talking what, 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the grade of the tear. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, because I mean we've still got the Liverpool lad who's got a fractured back, who we haven't seen, and will we see him? That's the question. But Martin, yesterday then, Anthony Patterson own goal. He's getting a lot of criticism, which, okay, he made a mistake, but I think overall he did keep us in the game as well, didn't he? Because he made some other good saves.
Yeah, there were some other good saves in the game that he made, but when you think about the goal that Ratty referred to earlier, the late one against Leeds, and Yesterday was just shambolic. It was just that they didn't speak to each other, and he should have had it clearly in his hands. These goals at this stage, because I had a quick look before the podcast here when we went to see how many times we've actually been in a game where we've actually won by more than a goal. And I think other than the one that we won 2-0 a few weeks ago, it was back to October that we actually have had more than a 1-goal cushion in any game. And it's just because we're not scoring, it puts so much pressure on. And every single goal we concede, especially obviously late on with the Leeds game there that cost us, and this game, even though there was lots of time to come back, it's just we're not scoring enough to give ourselves comfort to see these games out. And I think it's getting to the guys. And I think Ratty was spot on when he said, and I tried to lead into that as well, when he said that the late goal conceded against Leeds, I think had a bit of a hangover effect, and the guys didn't shake it off, in my opinion, for most of the game, to be honest with you. So I think that these late goals, everybody knows how much we're conceding them and how many points it's costing us, because we're not scoring enough goals in the first 60 minutes to just see a game comfortably out.
Yeah, and he's made some good points there, Rado, that yeah, the last time I think we won 2-0, apart from a few weeks ago against Luton, was probably what you going back to the Oxford and the Derby games, not at home.
Oxford.
Yeah,
And
it was October.
October.
Yeah.
And for me that's when that's what I pinpoint the change. I mean, for me, one of the turning points was when we played Luton away and we won 3-2, was it? Or 2-1, 2-1, 3-2. I can't
2-1,
remember.
I think.
2-1,
Yeah.
2-1, yeah. We won 2-1 that game, but that was the first time of the season where I really saw us bullied. And we managed to get a result. As we did at Hull away, we got a 1-0. But those two games for me were kind of like turning points where I thought something wasn't right. Something was changing. And it just seems that it's gone on, no? It's continued on and on, that we've just this attacking play or style that we had at the start of the season has just completely disappeared, and we've become like a very conservative defensive team. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Rado, Patterson's own goal then. I mean, Patterson is a quiet guy. They say he's very
Yeah.
calm. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't shout, and you can see that.
He looks calm. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks very calm. It doesn't look like he gave a shout to Patrick Roberts, because I think if he gives a shout, Patrick Roberts moves out of the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of people are blaming Patrick Roberts for being in his way, but Patrick Roberts was on the front post. That's his job, right? He has to be there.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. We don't know what exactly happened, whether Patterson said something. Probably it was too noisy at the ground, but I don't know. It was a silly goal to concede at the end. Probably both of them are guilty for this goal. But yeah, definitely Patterson has to be more vocal in the box area. That's very important. And this is something I said to my mates here in Bulgaria. If Patterson had the legs of Pickford and his passion, he would have been the best keeper in England. He's a great goalkeeper, but his distribution and that kind of calmness, sometimes he looks like that he doesn't care when the ball is in his feet. I don't know. But if he had the passion of Pickford and also the quality of distribution of Pickford, he would have been the best goalkeeper in England, according to me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't disagree with that. I think he's missing that
Yeah, I
Pickford.
like him a lot. He's our own what. I hope he'll get better with that, but yeah, this is something he's missing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Martin, normally
the thing with keepers.
Go on, Martin, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, just to follow on Ratty's point there, the thing with the keepers is, you make a mistake as a keeper, 95 times out of 100, it's a goal. You make a mistake as a forward, or you don't score. Okay, that it doesn't get forgotten, but the punishment isn't as severe as when you're the keeper and you make a mistake like you did yesterday.
Yeah, you're basically taking the words out of my mouth as well. I was going to say
I don't like that
thing.
criticism, by the way, by our own fans against Patterson. I see a lot of criticism against him in social media. He is doing a great job for us, so we shouldn't be against him especially at that time of the season. It's very important to be with him. He's top goalkeeper. Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah, no, Martin, you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, when a keeper makes a mistake because they're the last man, it usually ends up in a goal. And I think yesterday he did have a couple of other moments where they were tricky balls into the box, and he dealt with them. But obviously, some fans will probably kind of avoid talking about that and just talk about the goal. But anyway, then Martin, on to the rest of the game. I mean, we had an offside goal from Luke O'Nien. He was offside.
Yep.
Dan Ballard had a header which was saved, but there wasn't really much happening. I mean, for me, it just seems we're trying to walk the ball into the net. I mean, maybe we need a hypnotist to make the defense of the opposition go to sleep and just walk the ball, because it just seems that we're not taking shots out of the box. We're not playing long balls enough for Isidore, which it's just left to right, and we're just trying to walk the ball in. And I think that's part of the problem is why we're not scoring goals, because we're very one-dimensional. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would love to see more shots from outside the box because you never know what's going to happen. The keeper could spill it, and somebody could run in and tap it in. Isidore obviously missed that header in the second half, which was probably our best chance of the second half to score. But we're not scoring enough goals, and why aren't scoring goals? Well, if you don't shoot, you're not going to score. Last time I checked, so we got to take more shots. I don't know what our shot percentage is. I'm not really a big stats guy like that. I just kind of look by what I feel and what I generally look at, not necessarily because, in my opinion, you can look at statistics and sugarcoat it or make it look to prove whatever point you're trying to prove, depending on the stats. So it just, yeah, your point is of not shooting enough. 100%. I'd love to see more shots from outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to early in the season, we had what great goals from Job scored a couple of long range
Mm-hmm.
shots. So I think we need to do that more. But yeah, talking about shots on target yesterday, Rado, we only had two shots on target. Um, Hull had four.
Yeah.
When you're playing at home, you need to
It's
have a much higher ratio, no, for shots on
totally
target.
agree. Yeah, totally agree. And unfortunately, we're becoming very predictive team recently. We're trying, as you said, to walk through the goal in the same way every time. Every our attack is going almost the same way, and it looks like the teams now know how to defend against us, especially at the Stadium of White. That wall block, it's very difficult to find a way to score a goal, unfortunately. And I don't know. We have to try something different. We have to be more diverse in attack. We
Yeah,
have quality players, and we have to look for different options. Now having back Mando, hopefully soon, Tommy Watson, we will have that kind of players that uh, can bring something different to the game.
yeah. And Martin, Romain Mundle came back from injury yesterday, came off the bench. I thought he looked quite lively. I mean, he
He
had a
certainly did. He
he had a
certainly
spring
did.
in his step, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I think to Raddy's point earlier about when he was saying about the starting the same 11 as he did on Monday night, bringing it, and we're obviously going to probably have changes now that Ballard's out and Lefebvre may be out. Obviously there's going to be forced changes, but I think whether those happen or not, changes have to be made to get some fresh legs in and some fresh ideas and just change it up a little bit because as it is getting as Raddy said, very predictable and one only like a plan A. There doesn't really seem to be a plan B, and I think a lot of that has to do with because the players are the same players day in day out, day in day out.
Yep. And well, because Lefebvre got injured, I would guess that Mundle is probably going to start on Friday night, Martin. I thought
Yeah,
him and Dennis Serkin looked to have their partnership back together as well, because they were playing some nice football on the left-hand side. So that's a positive, I suppose, that we can look forward to in the next couple of months, having Mundle and Serkin back together. What about the right-hand side, Martin? Hume and Roberts. I mean, Roberts gets a lot of criticism, but I'm one of his staunch defenders, because I think he every time he gets the ball, he'll never waste it. He knows when to attack and when and not to attack. If he sees that nothing's on, he'll play it back. But if he sees there's an opportunity to create something, I think that he will play that pass. And he might not be the one who creates the assist, but yesterday, a lot of the times in the second half especially, we got the ball and it was always going to Roberts on the right hand side, and people are saying he doesn't do anything. He cuts inside. It's like, well, yeah, but he creates the space for Trey Hume. And yesterday he put a lot of balls for Trey Hume to get crosses in. So I think that he gets a lot of unfair stick, let's say.
Yeah, I think I'm a Roberts backer as well, and I certainly don't think you can ever fault his effort. I think he's always trying to be involved and wants in the game. That whole cutting inside thing, this is what comes back to that shooting. I would like to see him shoot more from outside the box as opposed to trying to play it away. Sometimes just have a shot. You never know what's going to happen. The goal, somebody can come in and get the ball off of the deflection, or keeper saves it. I would love to see him come in like obviously as he comes on the left, shoot comes in from the right and shoots with his left. I'd love to see more shots from him.
Yeah, I don't know, Rado. What's your opinion on the Roberts dilemma? People are asking for Mayenda. What do you
No,
think?
no, Mayenda shouldn't play on the right-hand side. I think Patrick Roberts has shown he's a very quality player, and he brings a lot to our style of play. The only thing that he is missing, and I will be very happy and glad to see him adding that to his game, is assists and goals. That's something he's missing for the past 2 seasons, let's say. Um, he's doing very well. He goes through past defenders, but the end product is missing. So I'm not say I don't want to say that I am criticizing him. He brings a lot to our game, but he can do better.
Yeah, I,
And
I would agree with that. I think that he does need to get a few more goals, especially. I mean, in terms of assists, I think he's got 5 or 6 this year. He's probably
yeah,
on par with Mayenda, I think, as well. Um, but yeah, I don't think Mayenda on the right is the answer either. I think
mhm,
uh, he just doesn't have that relationship with Trey Hume that Roberts has. I think Roberts knows where Trey Hume is going to be, and Mayenda doesn't have that connection yet with him.
yeah.
Um, anyway, Martin, onto the centre half set. It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Because Chris Mepham has been one of our best defenders, if not our best defender the whole season. But now he finds himself on the bench. Probably he's going to come back in now because of Ballard's injury. But does that not baffle you a little bit that he's been on the
Yeah,
bench?
definitely. I was surprised that it wasn't. He's not like he wasn't in the starting lineup for the last little bit, and I don't think he's done anything wrong to lose his place. I understand you shouldn't necessarily lose your place by injury, but sometimes that happens. And if if someone's playing well, just because you're come back from an injury doesn't necessarily mean come straight back in. If you're playing, whoever's playing at that spot is playing at a high quality, which I think he was.
Yeah. Do you think '09 is undroppable, Martin?
Uh, yeah, I kind of do. I think because whether if you want to look at straight skill sets and all that kind of stuff, well, he may not statistically match up with everything, but you thing that you would want in a typical center half. But as far as the crazy things that happen, the energy he seems to bring to the game, they call him Mr. Sunderland for a reason, and I think that is because he certainly shows he bleeds for the team, and he'll do anything he can for the team. And whether he's undroppable, yeah, I think he kind of is, to be honest with you. But
Mhm.
maybe because of what's going on the last couple of games, maybe because of this change, maybe we should give him a rest for a game or two.
What do you think about having Ballard, Mepham, and '09 if they're all fit, Rado? Do you think that it's possible to have them all in the same starting 11, or that because of the
Oh,
formation, one of them has to drop out?
yeah, because of the formation, one of them has to drop out, unfortunately. I like them all, but it's good. We should have at least 4 good center backs. Now we have only the 3 of them, with Taji Elise injured, and now Dan Ballard again. I was surprised that Dan Ballard started so many games in a row after that injury. I
Mhm.
expected that there will be some kind of rotation just to protect him. Unfortunately, we'll have that change forced for next game with Mepham. Mepham has been excellent so far. Maybe the last game he played, he was not 100%. He had some issues, but it happens. Anyway, Mr. Sunderland, he's doing a great job for us. he has his moments with wrong pass here and there, but yeah, he's doing a great job. I wouldn't say he's undroppable, um, but maybe he brings something different to what Mepham and Dan Ballard can offer
Mhm.
for our team.
And right, Martin,
Well put.
moving on to the midfield then. I mean, we've been playing with a midfield three for most of the season of Job, Neil, and Rig. For me, there's just not enough creativity in that midfield. I think that they're all just very technical, well talented players, and they've got great engines. But I just think that there's a lack of creativity, which if you, for example, put Lefebvre in for one of those guys, instantly you have a massive improvement of creativity because he can make things happen. I just think that Rig, Neil, and Job, they're just not creative enough, and that's kind of part of our problem of not scoring enough goals and not creating enough chances. What do you think about the choice of the midfield three?
Yeah, like it's tough to say that when to break that up and then to have Lefay playing out the way he is. I would love to see Lefay more central. I certainly would. Um, but I think that the fact that there needs to be a change, there needs to be something done because you keep playing the same team over and over, and you're not getting the different results. That's not obviously something's not working there. And I think pulling one of those guys out and getting Lefay, assuming that he's healthy, in there would definitely spark the creativity and hopefully have give us a lot more chances and a lot more shots. As you said the other day, earlier today, sorry, 4 shots at home against Hull is woeful to say that at best. It's woeful.
Yeah, and Rado, I mean, Lebreach yesterday in his interview after the match, he said that we need to find solutions for more creativity. And I think we had a solution. No, we had a good player in Aushish. I mean, who was creative, and he let him go to Portsmouth. Portsmouth fans seem very, very happy with him the way he's performing. We've seen that Alexic is quite lively. He's very forward thinking. He likes to get into the box. He's not afraid to have shots. So I think that he did have options, but he just likes to have this core of 13 or 14 players that he'll always kind of play
Yeah.
and give minutes to. But apart from that, he won't give the others a chance. So is that kind of does he need to kind of admit that his management could have been a little bit better and start using
Yeah.
these squad players more?
Yeah. Well, we don't know what is happening behind the scenes, how everyone is performing at the training ground, but definitely we need that kind of rotation, and maybe that will be the key till the end of the season to make sure that everyone in the squad is up to speed, is finding his best form, and will be 100% ready for final push. Because yeah, it looks like every time Alexic is coming in, he's giving that spark at the end of the pitch, that creativity that we are missing from time to time. As you said, Tushish was a good option as well from the bench. Unfortunately, now exactly when Mandel and Tommy Watson are expected to be back, and we thought that we will have Lufay in that space behind the striker to provide that creativity. Now he's injured. So, yeah, I think, as you said, Regis is realizing he'll need to have more rotation now. And as I said, it will be very, very important to find the spark again and to be 100% confident and ready for the final push.
Hmm. And Martin, moving on to the forwards then. Isidore, he's a wonderful player. He scores these worldies. I think he's got what 11 or 12 so far this season. Um, but if you notice, a lot of the time in the game, he doesn't get involved much, isn't it? And I think that's part of the way we play, isn't it? The way we play is that we build up from the back, we go down the wings, and then the ball often gets pumped into the box, and it ends up in nothing. The only time Wilson gets involved is that when we play the ball over the top and he gets to stretch his legs and make a run. But do you not think that we're not doing that enough, are we not? We need to do that more to get the best out of Wilson, I think.
Absolutely. There's been some shots. There's been some of the goals that he scored have been basically breakaways and whatnot. Yeah, I would love to see him get. It's hard to say when he's scoring the goals that he is that he needs to score more, but he does need to be more involved in the game. And how do you do that? Do you drop him deeper a little bit? Well, then if you drop him deeper, then you lose that ball over the top so he can run. So it's a bit of catch-22, I think. But that's why I guess Labrie gets paid all the money that he does in order to make these tactical decisions and figure out a way to get him the ball more.
Yeah, and yesterday, Rado, he had that chance with the header. He normally gets one big chance a game, and sometimes he scores them, sometimes he doesn't. Yesterday, in the second half, it was a wonderful a wonderful cross from Trey Hume, and I think that's just a guy, a forward that isn't very good at heading. I think his best attribute is finishing, but with his feet. Would you agree with
With his
that?
feet. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that statement. He's very good player, especially on counter-attack. He's very fast, good with his feet. His heading is not the best quality. And yeah, it was wonderful opportunity, but everyone could miss that. Even now, Quinn probably
Yeah,
one time from 100 attempts. But yeah, unfortunately, yesterday nothing was working.
for
Even
him.
there was a penalty and it was not given, so everything was against us.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the next point, Martin. It was a nailed on penalty, wasn't it?
absolutely. Yeah.
The guy has his hand out like that, and I don't know, I can't remember the referee's position, but I mean, if you've got like four Sunderland players shouting for a handball, going berserk, there must be a pretty good reason why. And I thought the referee in general handled the game quite well. But yeah, he didn't do us any favors there, did he not, with that one?
No, and that's the thing. It's just one of those breaks. I kind of looked at it. I got questioned about it at the Leeds after the Leeds game that when we had that shout, when Leeds had the shout turned down and it didn't go for them, which I thought it could have been given. I got to
Yep.
go Sirkin against it. I think it should have been given. This one, as you said, it was a stonewall penalty as you're ever going to see one. And the ref missed it. Like it's just there shouldn't be an excuse for that. From what I recall, the ref was fairly decently placed, basically the sort of the top of the D. I just don't think there's any excuse for missing that because it was blatant. And you are right. The players know themselves. If they know that there's a good chance it could be given, they went nuts, and they did, and nothing was given. It's one of those things. Just you get some, you don't. So I don't know what to tell you. It definitely was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And games like that and things like that change because had that gone in and it may have been 1-1, then who knows what would have happened going forward.
Well, you get the momentum, won't you, and kick on.
Yeah.
Rado, so Mayenda had a good chance as well. Bit of a mix-up at the back from Hull. The defender lost the ball. Mayenda came in. He had a shot with his right foot. I thought the best option was there to pass it because he's left-footed,
Yeah,
and you could tell
exactly.
by when he took the shot, he was well off balance. No, he didn't have any kind of position to be in a good position to shoot. And for me, that was a wasted chance because we had two guys. I think it was Roberts and Isidore. I think were there as well. And
Yeah, I think it was Roberts on the right side. Yeah, definitely the better option was to pass the ball to Roberts on the right. But I can understand him. He is desperate to score, to be back in the team. He doesn't get the chance that enough chances that he definitely deserves, by the way. And he was eager to score a goal. But yeah, with his weaker foot, it was definitely the wrong decision, unfortunately. But
yeah,
as I said, nothing was working the right way yesterday.
yeah, we probably could have played for a long time and we still wouldn't have scored. Right, so Martin, then that's the end of the match. Disappointing. The only highlight of the game was that Frankie Francis got pooed on by a seagull when he was doing the commentating
Yeah.
with Danny on
Really?
pitch side. Yeah,
I saw that.
I miss that.
Actually, speaking of Frankie Francis, our Toronto area, or our NASA branch, we have a Zoom meeting with him, like a video call, like just talking basically thing at 4 o'clock today.
Ah,
So we're
brilliant.
like I've done this one
Oh,
now, and then at 4 o'clock today, our North American branch members have a Frankie's coming on. So obviously he's going to get a bit of stick about that. One of the things Ratty knows very well this picture because he was involved in it when I fell on my arse the first International Fans Day. The famous picture of me taken with my flag on my back. Frankie's behind me, howling with laughter.
yeah, yeah,
So I've sent him
yeah.
that because they said to us, "Do you want anybody have any questions for Frankie? Send him in to Justin, who's our guy. You know Justin,
Yeah.
guys." And so I sent him that picture and said, "Ask Frankie if he remembers this and what his thoughts are on it." So yeah, that was funny to see Frankie get booed on yesterday.
Yeah.
Great
But
shot.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, but then, Martin, we've got 62 points after 34 games. Burnley have 68, Leeds and Sheffield United 70 and 72, but they play tomorrow night. Does it look like that automatic dream now is slowly drifting away?
I don't want to say yes because I'm still thinking. In my opinion, I want Leeds to win tomorrow. I kind of want them just to stretch their legs and get ahead and have Burnley and Sheffield United keep losing and have a chance to get second. I think first is realistically gone, but I think second's definitely there. But things like that conceded goal against Leeds in extra time and yesterday, I did not expect us not to get 3 points last night or yesterday morning. So those are very very big things, hurdles to overcome. But I still don't think it's out of the question that number two's available, provided. But I hate to say it, but I want Leeds to win them tomorrow when I play.
Yeah. Rado, what's your thoughts on the remainder of the season? 12 games. Is it just the playoffs now to try and make sure we go into
Well,
the playoffs with good form, or
if you have asked me that question before the game yesterday, I would say no. But it looks like that mentally the players are down at the moment, and it will be very, very important to have a response right after on Friday against Sheffield. So, and to show that we will be fighting till the end, as we should do. Um, Looking how all of the three teams above us are taking their points, it will be very, very difficult to make the automatic spots now. But you never know. If we win 10 of the remaining 12 games, I'm pretty sure we can be in the mix, but it will be very, very difficult. And for me, the most important part, as I said already, will be to make sure that all of the players involved in the group are ready and 100% involved in our promotion chase. So
yep.
let's see.
Let's see. Martin, we've got Sheffield Wednesday on Friday. Hillsborough is always a very difficult place to go to. It's a good atmosphere. Sheffield Wednesday, 45 points, 12th position. They're 6 points behind the sixth place or fifth place for playoffs. So it's not going to be an easy game. I mean, we could be looking at 3 defeats in a row if we don't pull our socks up, right?
Yeah, it is going to be a difficult game. Be it the Friday night, it's on. I guess it's on Sky over there. So we get it on Dazan over here in Canada, which generally means it's that Barry Bannon love in from their commentator. They seem to just fall all over him. It is a difficult spot, but we harken back to Robert's equalizer, one of the most difficult games over there. Robert's goal that got us through to the final, the playoff final. You got to remember things like that. So every game's going to be difficult. I know we said this 4 or 5 games ago. We have basically 15, 16 cup finals left, and now we're down to 12. We got to win them all. You can't pick and choose who you're going to play. They're in front of you, who you're going to play, and you got to go beat them. You're
Yeah.
capable of beating anybody on our day, but we just got to show up. Unfortunately, yesterday we certainly did not show up in any way, shape, or form, and I think we just fell away at the backside of Leeds game on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, we have this, Rado, you probably know this, we have this kind of acronym called ethics, which is called It's the Hope I Can't Stand. And that's
Yeah.
it's pretty how much we feel, isn't it, right now, that we still feel there's a chance, but every game we go into very optimistically, but then at the end of it, we're kind of disappointed. And just a stat for you guys, I mean, out of the last 22 games, we have only won 8. We've drawn
What?
drawn 10 and lost 4. So
Yeah,
out of
not
22
scoring
games,
goals.
out of 22 games, that's going back to the QPR game. Yeah, so
Oh,
QPR was yeah, so 22 games, 8 victories and 10 draws and 4 defeats. That's not the form of a team looking for promotion, is it not?
Certainly
no,
not.
certainly not. And I'm surprised by this stat. To be honest, I would expect to have more victories for 22 games, but yeah, it doesn't look promising, and we need to find our best form again
Yeah.
very soon. Yeah.
And I think it just shows as well that we've made a very good start to the season, and thank God for that. Right,
Mm,
gentlemen, we're going to call it a day. Thank you very much for coming on. Martin, enjoy your chat with Frankie. Rado, enjoy your evening in
Yeah, it should be
Sofia.
fun.
And I'll see you
thanks.
gentlemen again soon. How are the lads?
Yeah, Ratty.
All
Look
right,
forward to seeing
lads.
you in April, Ratty.
Yeah. See you in April.